Hi guys, I hope that you're very well. It's Sylvana here and I am back for a new video on the Jewels and Gems YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we'll talk about what are maybe the best crystals or practices that you can use to clear out any stagnant, unwanted, useless energy from your mind, and how you can, any feeling that seems to be kind of creating a lot of weight on your shoulders, like that makes you feel heavy. How can you remove all that? How can crystals help you to remove that unwanted energy in your own, in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, whichever way resonates with you best. So to get started, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some of my favorite crystals to work with that would be dedicated to this topic, and give you a bit of an idea as to how I like to use them. How do I use them in order to really clear my mind, clear myself from any of that negative energy, really. So what I would tend to say first is that the main crystals you're gonna work with, guys, that would be associated with that would be especially that idea of removing those unwanted layers, would be the ones I'm going to show you right now. But if you don't have any of those, I'm also going to mention and suggest some alternatives. So don't get worried if you see that I'm showing you one that you don't have and you're thinking for yourself, oh, what am I going to do? I don't have this one. I can't do it. You can still do it. I'm going to give you a little bit of help here. First of all, for those of you that are new to crystal healing and that are not so much aware, the mind, the brain, all that, whichever way you like to call it best, it's an area of our body, of our system, energetic system, that actually happens to store a lot of unwanted, stagnant, negative energy. And that can be coming from very old events. It can be from past experiences, that can be as far as childhood. Sometimes that's going into obviously inner child healing. That's a much deeper topic, but that we're not going to cover here. But the exercise that we have here can also work for more recent events too. So for example, anything that would have happened this month, the past year, whatever resonates with you best, it can also work here too. The most important thing to do, guys, is more so to clear any of that energy, clear it all away completely, because that's the only way you'll be able to move forward. That's the only way you'll be able to heal, grow, and expand. As we love to talk about this on this channel, that's literally how you can get there. But first of all, clearing energy is the first step. So it's important for you to have, especially if you are into crystal healing, which I would like to think that you are if you're watching this channel, that you have a crystal practice set up that really allows you to move out, to literally, leave behind any of those self-limiting beliefs, old thought patterns, any mind clutter, or any other type of unwanted energy that could also come from the outside, from your own environment, etc., and to make the most out of it. Let's start by one of my favorite ones. We'll leave it for the end. I'm going to start first by talking about something like let's talk about Obsidian. Obsidian is the first great example. You can use it like this. I like to use it rough, but you can also use any other shape, really. If you have it in a shape that's kind of pointy or that has an edge, for example, this one here happens to have like an edge, so it could be something like you could use as a sort of old style knife, sort of like you could cut something with it. That is even better, because it's really going to work in our crystal practice, which is actually going to be a visualization. We're going to talk about this in a moment. So definitely that would be a great choice if you have this sort of shape in Obsidian. It's great. Other than that, I also like myself to work with tourmaline, black tourmaline. You know, both of them, you know, they're great for that work because they are crystals that really resonate with that sense of shielding you against the negative energy and really protecting you, but also removing it. You know, what they do is they're going to absorb the negativity so it doesn't reach you and really release it through the earth as they resonate with our root chakra. And the thing is, for black tourmaline, I like to work with ideally more like longer pointed pieces rather than chunks. So if you do have a piece that's kind of elongated, it can also work in the same area. It's like some sort of a knife, let's call it like that. It's for the visualization. You're gonna see after what I'm talking about. But yeah, ideally like a more pointy shape would be great. I'm mentioning this one because I know most people would be familiar with it, black tourmaline and black obsidian, and these ones are easy enough to get your hands on if you don't have it already, which, you know, I would say most of you guys probably have those. Now another choice that would also work very well is definitely something like black kyanite. Here I have some black kyanite. Now it's not the most attractive crystal in the world, I give you that. I know that this type of crystals don't it's not something, for example, my own customers ask for a lot, because when they look at it they'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll pass on to that one. But actually black kyanite is great because you have blue kyanite, as we would be more familiar with. I'm sure you guys that are familiar with my own business and my online shop, you will know that there is a lot of blue kyanite. We talk a lot about it in the sense that it's a stone that's very much so wonderful for the fact that it does not hold any type of energy, be it positive or negative. It's doing a completely other type of work. You know, I would suggest you guys to look at the blue kyanite video that I've done on this channel. You'll find it. It's very well explained. I go through everything you need to know about it. And anyway, because of that, it makes it a great crystal to also work with, in that sense that really clearing it all away, clearing away that negative energy makes a lot of sense to do it with a crystal like black kyanite too. You know, it does not need to be cleansed, which is quite amazing. And you really want to work with a crystal like that, especially if it's a practice that you're planning to do on a regular basis. You know, for some people, they feel like they might want to do it every so often, whereas someone might want to do it only once a month. So, you know, it's also important to keep those things in mind. Whereas something like these two guys, Obsidian and Tourmaline, you will need to cleanse them every time you do this practice, because they can gather a lot of that negative energy themselves sometimes. So just keep that in mind. And last but not least, my personal favorite, the one I really love to use and talk about and share my love about, is the one and only, it's selenite. You can see it's this beautiful selenite. It's so wonderful. It literally reflects light, so you can see that's like natural sunlight that it's being reflected on it. And I love to work with it, especially in this type of shape. Like this is like a ruler shape, and you can really work on that, you know, cutting that old energy away, releasing it from yourself. That really does the job in a very nice way. So definitely that's a great choice. I really like to work with selenite. Again, selenite is pure light energy. It's literally all about purification, cleansing and healing energy. So this is a crystal that can also cleanse, purify and heal other crystals. So it's great to use not just for yourself or for your environment, but also for your crystals, especially those that you work with on a regular basis. And keep in mind that, again, this one here, just like black kyanite, there's a very few of them that actually do not need to be cleansed. That one belongs to that category, which is really amazing. So what you can do, just to give you a bit of an example of a practice that for example I use myself whenever I feel like I need to cleanse that energy, is that you for example, you can go and work with, let's say, black obsidian, or you can use black kyanite, or also black tourmaline. So let's say, for example, you use you know, your black kyanite here, you know, on you usually use it always on your on the hand that's like the right hand, because that's considered the active hand. You know, it's that active energy, rather than the left hand, which is more passive. And then what I would say is you know, try to, for example, go into a meditative pose. So sit down cross-legged, for example, and just put your mind at ease, and try to calm yourself down as much as you can, like you would when you were planning to do a meditation. And then what you do is, while you are meditating, grab your crystal, for example here, black kyanite. And then what you're going to do is that hold it close to you and really imagine that, you know, all your like negative energy that's within you is really starting to really get sucked in by the black kyanite, you know, and that black kyanite is literally releasing it. It's so like taking it out. And what you do is, you can do that, for example, with your eyes closed. You know, that's what I usually tend to do. And while my eyes are closed and I imagine that negative energy being drawn out by my black kyanite, then what I'm going to do is, when I feel the time is right during my meditative state, I will take my black kyanite and I will start to cut through that stagnant negative energy in order to release myself from it. You know, so you basically go through it with your black kyanite and you visualize yourself cutting it out, you know, cutting away that stagnant energy from you. And then, for example, you know, if like you can do that with like black kyanite. Another idea would be to do this with black obsidian. It works great for black obsidian, in my opinion. You know, and as well as we said, black tourmaline. So any of those, just really you know, imagine that you are really slicing it, cutting through, literally, you know, as that energy is starting to, as you're starting to separate yourself. It's basically a visualization work. And, you know, and then imagine that you're doing that as many times as it feels right. There is no secret here, guys. You know, there's no like, do it for 2 times, you know, and then that's it. Do it for as many times as it feels right. And imagine yourself really getting out of it, and that energy, you know, floating away like a balloon, and you mentally clear, you know, with that mind clutter slowly drafting away, and just you sitting here mindfully in a state where you are not thinking about nothing. You're just listening to what's happening around you. And of course, as per usual, if any thoughts do come to you, the best thing to do is you just acknowledge them, try to, you know, stop thinking about it, and then move on as you would through any other type of meditation, you know. And then another idea would be to finish off with some selenite, because selenite is that very pure light energy, because you have done the hard work with that very powerful energy that, for example, obsidian, tourmaline, or even kyanite holds. You know, that's, you know, it's nice to finish it off with an energy that's a little bit more lightweight. And the other thing as well is that selenite also promotes purity and positivity. It's a very pure, beautiful, calming and soothing energy, and it's great to finish off with selenite for that reason. And then what you can do is you imagine, as I've done that in other videos on our Instagram account, you're gonna see there, where you actually grab your selenite, you know, for example, your ruler, and you're just gonna brush through your auric field. So basically it's like that, it's like a, let's say it's like a, you know, an invisible layer above, like just around you. So if you want, you can literally go on on the skin, on your clothes, or you can also like just hold it just a little bit above, you know, it doesn't have to be there, but it doesn't have to be touching you necessarily, but just imagine you can do that while your eyes are closed as well, and you just imagine how that beautiful pure light energy is just clearing away all that dusty stagnant energy to make sure you're left completely clear and clean and fresh and light, you know, that any little bits that are remaining are literally washed away. So, you know, after you have done this, that's a ritual that I love to do for myself. It's like my meditation / visualization work. Whenever I feel that I have that stagnant energy that needs to be cleared, I definitely recommend you guys give it a try. As we said earlier, you can do this as many times as you want. Really, there's no really certain rules about it. Is as many times as feels necessary to you. Trust yourself. Trust your instinct and your gut feeling, because you know deep down your intuition will tell you what you need. So, you know, you should feel after that, you should feel much lighter, you should feel better, you should feel like, you know, you're more focused, less stressed, you know, like you don't have any of that mind chatter clutter that's there distracting you, disturbing you. You know, it's really great to do as well on new moon. I really like to use this ritual on the new moon, because new moons are usually about new beginnings, and this type of ritual really promotes that sense of setting new, just a new energy in order to kickstart a new cycle. And you know, you can do this as many times as you want, as we said, and that really will help you to hold a clear energy that's really beautiful and light and powerful. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Let me know how you guys feel about this. If you have your own ritual or your own techniques that you use with crystals to focus on you know, clearing out this overflow of just negative stagnant energy, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It would be wonderful. It always helps and shows me what type of content you're enjoying on this channel, so that I can bring even more of it to you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll be talking to you soon. See you guys.